Hello everyone, welcome to Learn. This is the fourth part of the video series, What's on Python Basics. Check in the I button for the last part in case you haven't watched it yet. So let's start.
I was working on int and float, so I was not showing you string to that extent. Now, whenever I'm going into the strings, okay. So for string, you just have two things. You can use single quotes, like here you see. Here it's I have used a single quote to print it. Even you can use double quotes too. But remember, you cannot use a mixture. You just need to put either single quotes or double quotes. Python accepts both, but you cannot put a mixture. So even if you put a double quotes, Python actually reads this as single quote, so it's not your fault. It compiles that way. The next thing is the escape sequence. What the escape sequence? If you are wanting to print this thing, doesn't. So for doesn't, you are using a single quote. Fine. Here's a single code, and you just need to print a quotation also. For that thing, we use escape sequence. That's a backslash before that. So, if you're using this, you can see it prints out the dozen exactly. But if you're not, if you just miss out this print statement, look, it just gives an error because t is something it's not defined. It will show you t is not defined. Look, T is not defined, invalid syntax. That's because it finds out something, but it don't find a definition of that. And again, it finds a start of a single code, but there's no end to it. That's how it got it mixes up the thing. Also for that, without using escape sequence, you can use something like that. You just use a double quote and then add a single quote in between. So it takes it don't much it takes that as a single quote and prints it out. Okay. So yeah, that's a bypass from other languages. In Java, you actually need to give a single backslash to just print out codes. It's not possible other way. And now look, here I tried to print something like she said. So what does she said? That's within a quotes isn't. So put the whole thing in a single quote. Put this statement that you want to print as a quoted statement. Put it in a double quote within the single quote, and then put things like backslash slash t. Sorry, backslash colon quotes. Now look, it prints out this part. I'll just show you it in IDE. This needs a code. Now look, in IDE you can actually see the backslash slash t is denoted as a escape sequence. It just marks that for you. Okay. Fine, hopefully understandable how to just print out this mixture. But if you just miss out this colon, look, ID will show you that here's an error. Fine, that's if you just scroll over on an ID, it shows that missing code. Okay, just print out, run this, it gives a error. That's syntax error. The same thing, but yeah, it gives you an error. Fine. Yeah, the same thing they tried it using the print statement. And print statement shows us like that in this manner. The next thing, like say you need to print some C address or the this kind of thing. Okay. Okay. For that, before I actually show you, there are a few more escape sequence that you actually need of, whenever you're coding. That's first one is the slash t. Slash t is basically giving a tab. Like whenever you press a tab, it gives a space, right? Extra space. But for a code to understand that, you want to give some more spaces, not a space using a space bar. So slash t is used for as a tab. And the next thing is slash n. It's the next line command. Like whenever you're printing slash n within a print statement, it gives you it moves the printing, like rest of the print, like rest of the statement to print after slash n, it moves to the new line, like it prints in a new line. It's like more common thing. You can find this thing in all programming languages. It's common to all programming languages. Okay, but why I told you this thing now is that, look here, whenever we are trying to print something, c colon, that's some, and then you want to give some name. Look here, slash in comes up. So whenever slash in comes up, it just prints out. Look, it takes slash in as a command, like new line command, and prints out the new statement here. Wait, I'll show you in IDE too. Fine. Look, the ID shows you explicitly that here you have a slash in mentioned here. Fine. For this purpose, you can use another escape sequence in Python that's basically an R. So what this R does is if you are familiar with the coding in CMD or moving exploring CMD, like command prompt, like working out with command prompt, not clicking here and there. So you must be familiar with using this R. This is actually a escape sequence that says that whatever string is after that, print that as a string. Fine. So it actually ignores all the whatever you have done here. Say you have written something slash this, everything is printed as a string. So whatever you write here, it takes it as a string. Now, if I just print it, you can see it takes it as a string. That everything is got printed. But if you just miss out this R, you can see it just notices there's a slash n mentioned. There's a sorry, there's a colon mentioned, and there's a slash t mentioned. So if you just oops, do in this manner, so you can see it takes the first part, takes a slash n, prints a colon, sorry, prints the quotation, and then takes a slash t, that is a tab, and then prints the rest. Fine. So R is basically a escape sequence that gives the print a command that you need to ignore whatever is after that and take the whole thing as a string. Many times whenever you are changing like changing directory in CMD, if you are just have experience with that, so you like CD, then a directory name, so you can find that CD, after that a directory name gives you some errors, so you can use R in that purpose also. That's a side tip, ignore if you are not familiar with it. No problem.
Acha, hello.
Yep.
We can also use double backslashes, yeah?
Double black slashes, yeah, try out. Sorry.
No, I
If you
tried out. I'm
just,
just saying.
yeah, you can use double black slashes also, like you want to do this thing. Wait, you want to do this thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly, it works fine too. That it takes this, like this is again a escape sequence that
Escape
shows
sequence.
exactly, that shows that the next element needs to be printed as it is.
Yeah.
Okay, but without using double brackets, say you have a larger name, say you have something of this. Or wait, I'll just show you. Say a larger path. You mean what I
Yeah.
said? This kind of thing. So you just go on giving double brackets to the whole thing, or just add an
Yeah,
R in between.
it's hard to recognize. I know. I'm just asking.
Exactly, exactly.
Acha, we also.
The next thing that we move on is that string literals. So what this string literals does? Look here, we are multiplying 3 with un, okay, and then after this multiplication we're adding yum. Fine, so it will just print out three times and then add like yum. So this is a kind of interesting thing that you can do with strings. You can just multiply. If you need to do same things multiple times, you can just multiply this kind of thing. Say this. The next thing, okay, so the thing was that you can use it in this kind of way. You can simply multiply strings and add with another. The next thing is the concatenation. For concatenation, you can see I have already shown you how to do concatenation. Just add it to string. For that purpose, say you just have pi as a string and you have as thorn as a string. So you just add pi to the prefix as a variable prefix, and then with the variable prefix, you just adding thorn. Then you can see. it will just show you the whole string. Okay. For the string, you can do it in this manner, and yeah, it don't create a new memory space. It just adds the new memory space. Now, the most important part in string is whenever you are using C and probably in C++ also, but you are using a string as a array, not a string how we use here, right? And that purpose, if you just look into like uh, string here is also defined as an array. You can use it as an array too. You can use it as a normal variable. You can use it as an array. Remember, there's nothing called array in Python. There's something called we call it as something else. But yeah, after the like you don't know what that is, I'll tell you. But before that, you just know you can use it as an array. Now, if you just print array of 0, so it will definitely give you the 0th value. And wait, I'll just show you this chart first. Whenever you are doing something with string, remember that it starts with a 0th element, that the way array element starts at 0. And similarly, it ends at length minus 1, and length is the maximum value you can go up to. But in Python, there's an interesting thing is after this much, the selected part is there in every language. Okay, but Python has something more for you. That's -1, -2, -3. Like you can go in reverse order too. In array is like in array you can go in reverse order. Okay, how? First say okay, first if you just written here, so I'm just printing it. So like whenever you're printing array of 5, it's just printed out the last elements in 0 to 5, and the length is the 6, so 0 to 5, this kind of thing. Now if you just print out array of -1, array of -1 actually gives out the last element. Okay, array of -1 is the last element. So Python has this, you have that opportunity to print something like last element directly within -1. But in Java or C, we used to do something like traverse from like traverse from fast and reach the last element and print. The same way, word of 5, like array of this statement is the user statement that you use everywhere. But you have this privilege to using -1 here. The next thing comes is that -2, -6. But remember, what -6 does? The total length is 6. Like the total length is 6. So what -6 does? Look, it gives a P. So it starts in this manner. This one is the -1 element, then -2, and this is -6. So whenever you're traversing from front end, there's something. It starts from 0 till length, like length -1, and while you're traversing from reverse order, it's basically -1 till negation of length, right? Like you actually print till 0 till 5, and in reverse order is -1 till -6. I hope you can understand that part. The next thing is slicing. For slicing in Python, it's much easier than C++. How? You just print it with colons. Like you just want for Java, if you guys anyone know, you use substring. Okay, probably you guys know or not, no problem. And for C, you just print till arrays bond, like you just make an array and store it in another variable kind of thing. But here, you can directly do it in this manner, like 0 till 2. Till 2 means not 2 less than 2. How? Only py. The word was Python. Fine. So you the first two elements like 0 and 1 in place are getting printed 0 till 2. The next thing I'm just showing is the uh, this thing 2 till 5. So py 0 till 2. Now 2 is inclusive and less than 5. So tho, and the last element was n, that is the fifth position n, 0 till n. So this except the fifth position, it just printed out the rest. Okay. The another thing is if you want everything till the end value, you don't want to put any front value or the like starting. You don't want the starting value. You want the interpreter to start from the very beginning. Okay, you don't want to explicitly mention that, so you just give a colon and write the value. Done. It gives you the same thing. That is, you did something like 0 till 2 and colon 2 is the same thing. And then you want something like from 4 till the last. Now, wherever it ends, you want to say something?
Hello,
Yep, tell me.
please repeat this. Yes, slicing strings.
Okay. For this slicing, whatever we're doing, we're just taking zero, like the starting element. Okay. So it's basically like the variable name, say variable name, and then you are taking a starting element, say starting element you are giving a 0, or maybe another starting element, and starting element then you give a colon and give a ending element. Fine. So you just define it in this order: first starting element, ending element. Remember, it's always less than the ending element. Fine. Like it runs always less than the ending element. So it won't print the ending position element, but it will print just the value less than that. Fine. So whenever you are doing 0 till 2, it gives you py. Why so? Here the position p is at position 0, then y is at position 1, and t is at position 2, right? Just look into this chart. P is at position 0, Y is at position 1, and T is at position 2. So it prints less than T. So position 0 and position 1. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the similar goes here also from 2 till less than 5. Okay.
Hmm.
And here in the third one, if you explicitly know that you are starting from the beginning, fine, you know you are starting from the beginning, and you know wherever the value is, you want to start from the beginning. So there's no need to explicitly mention 0. Since you know you are starting from the beginning, you just start. That is, you just mention here colon 2. So what it does, it starts from the beginning, prints till less than 2. So everything remains same. The whatever I have said here, the everything remains same in this purpose too. But it prints, you are not explicitly mentioning the starting element. Okay, that you are not explicitly mentioning that 0th position is starting element. Say you are wanting to print in this manner. Oops. Look. Got it? This is 1 till 4. Fine. Now you don't want to mention the starting element, that is you want it to start from the very beginning. So leave this blank. If you leave this blank, it will start from the 0 and run till less than 4. Fine. Similar is the this case. If you want it to print till the end, like you don't want to explicitly mention that end here, you want it to end where the string ends. So you just mention its starting position now, give a colon and give the ending position as blank. Fine. You are not mentioning any ending position, to it will run till end, like 4, 5, and 6. Fine. All the
Yeah.
values. Similar is the case. -2 colon nothing. Tell me, what will you do?
It will be ON.
Yeah, again ON, since it will just print out the negative value, like it will search from the negative part and then print the negative value. This is similar to the 4 commas nothing. Okay. Now, you can do something of this sort. Say you are adding nothing till 2 and then 2 till end. Like fast till 2 and then 2 till nothing. Is actually the same. It will print out this. So you want to
PYON.
say anything?
Python.
Yeah. Okay, so if it is changed out, that if you just print till 2 from starting till 2 and then ending like 4 till the end, like you want to miss out the middle two elements, like position at 2 and position at 3, then you can do it easily here. You don't need to run any for loop till search the whole array and go in that manner. Okay. That's how it works here. Now, say the word has like what was there in word Python. So it has 6 positions. What will happen if you just print out something want to print something at the position 42? Like the 42nd position, it will print out what? Tell me.
Garbage
It will
value.
give an No, it will give an index error since it's out of index. In Java, you remember the array index out of bounds, and yeah, in C you can get a garbage value, but it will show you index error. Fine. The next thing is again if you just print out 4 till 42. Now look, why? See that if you're just trying to print out the 42nd element, it gives you an error. But if you just print out a slice that 4 start from the 4th position and end till the 42nd position, okay? So it gives you something. It doesn't give you any error as the previous case. It is because it runs till the end and then it finds that the value is not there. So it finds something to print out. It will do for you. Okay. It won't give you an error explicitly since you can just concat string again and again. It knows that you can do something of that sort, but whatever it has currently in hand, it just print it out. Okay, it doesn't find that okay, this value is not there. Doesn't matter. It's not there, not there. It won't mind. Fine, understandable? I'm guessing yes. Yeah, the next part is that you are printing a slice of 42 till the end from the word Python. Okay, look what it gives. It gives a blank character. Why? Since at the 42nd position, there's nothing, right? Why it gives you an index error? Since the string index is out of range. The range is only 6 characters out of range, but in string, if you're printing a slice, then what is there? You are starting on 42 as a position until the end. So it has nothing basically, right? It's a blank, right? You can imagine that there's nothing there. You are asking it for a slice and it finds nothing is there. So it gives out nothing. But when you're asking explicitly a position value that give me word at 42, that 42nd element, I need the 42nd element. So it gives you an index error. Why? Since it finds that there's nothing and that particular position is nothing for him to print. But when you're asking for a slice needs to be a string. Okay, slice, when you're asking for this slice of from him, he finds that there's nothing. So at the 42nd element, it finds nothing and continues till the end. So end has already it has already encountered end before. So it will find us blank space. There's nothing present. Similar way. Actually, it handles this kind of way. Like whenever you miss out something, it handles on its own that yeah, there's nothing there and it's a blank space. But whenever you are explicitly asking him for like to show the 42nd element, okay, so there's nothing. It stores gives an index error, like you have mentioned the wrong index. Hopefully you understand. Yeah, I'm taking it as a yes. Fine. Next is the thing you need to remember is strings are immutable. Why and how? Look, if you are explicitly mentioning that word at 0 as j. So what is word at 0? Word at 0 was something called p, right? And you are explicitly mentioning that word at 0 is j. Like you are assigning the value. Fine. Now look what it says. It says it's a type error. Why? That's the reason strings are immutable. You cannot change values in this manner. Like you cannot say that this particular string is this, right? You're gonna do this in this manner, saying strings are immutable. You cannot change the value where and here. Like you need to assign it to a new string. If you want to do this, then cut the rest slice out, take the first string and concat with the rest slice. You can do in this manner. Wait. J, then plus, and then you want say word 1 till end. Fine. Now see, it took it. Like it actually, if you search out like find out the reason, it actually makes another variable. Like in it, you don't see such variables name, but it assigns it to another variable. Says word is never changed. Even now, after that, if you print this word at 0, you will find it's p. Why so? Because you cannot change the string in this manner. Okay, strings one assigned are immutable. Fine, you cannot change the each value. Like you misspelled, you need to change it in a different way. Yeah, the same thing goes here. If you want to like add this thing to till and you want to change it to pi, it won't do it. It will give a type error. The same thing I told you that j then 1 till n, it will give you the JYTHON. And yeah, the first thing, it will take whatever till 2 and then adds it pi. Okay, so you can make this kind of like create new strings in this manner, but not using slicing like this kind of thing. You cannot assign it since strings are immutable. Remember, immutable and mutable thing are again going to come back soon. Now, in every like in Java, you can say that there's a function called in string class. There's a function called length. Okay, that helps us to find out the length of a string. The similar is here that if there's a string, okay, if there's a string, say something is written, and then you can find len s. So what len s gives you? Len s gives you the exact length. Remember, for length, it is from 1 till length. It's not 0 till length. Len s returns you the exact length. But if you need to access a variable, you need to access it with length minus 1. Is it understandable? Yeah, I'm guessing it
Yeah,
is
it
a
is.
yes. Yeah. Okay, you can see if you print out the length, it gives out the whole length, but it actually ranges from, yeah, the thing I was telling, from 0 till 33. That is the array length. That is the if you use it in this manner, so this is the length, but the length is 34. Fine. Next, the built-in function. In the beginning, you have seen that I have used a function called int and brackets. Remember? I have just moved to ID and shown you a int. I just converted whenever I was showing you the division. I just shown you something int called it. So this is again a built-in function. What it does, I have shown you int. So int does is converting any value to its integer value. Okay. Now here you are seeing string str. Str is a built-in function that converts to string. So tell me, if you're converting str to and to, so what will give you? So this str is the function that converts to string. Okay. So what will it give you? What do you guys think? What will it give you? I'm not looking into the chats if you're writing there. Anyone? Okay.
Check the chat.
I
Check
guess
the chat.
you're not writing in chats. Huh?
Check the chats.
Uh, what's that? Two as a string? Yeah, two as a string. Exactly. It just prints in string. That's it. This kind of thing. Yeah, someone wrote in chat. I just saw. And the similar goes if you're converting from float to string. It's just give it a similar thing. Remember one thing. If you're like doing something of this sort, say say something here. So any idea what will it give you? You saw that convert error, expected an error, and yes, it's an error since int wants an value as an integer value. Okay.
That's the end of the fourth part. Please just subscribe for other parts as well. Hit the like button if you think the video is worth it. Mention in the comments if you face any problem regarding any part that you mentioned in the videos. Hope to see you soon in the next video.